All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Grill. Da, 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 da. All right. We getting ready to get popping. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So let me get some stuff straight here. Um, Got to get this fixed because I did made a little modification. So that's good. All right. If everybody can hear me, throw a thumbs up or something. Make sure y'all can hear me okay. I believe everybody can hear me and all of that. What's going on, my man Q? All right. I got a phone call coming in. Hold on. This is a customer confirming an appointment. Hey, Griffin Notary, how can I help you today? Yes, sir. I'm scheduled to meet with you next week for a loan closing on the 18th. All right, sounds good. So just need both of y'all to have valid ID, unexpired, preferably driver's license, and we should be good to go. All right, man. You have a good one and have a great weekend. Yes, sir. All right. Appointment for Monday is confirmed. We are good to go and all of that. So let's see here how I want to do this here. How I want to do this here. Um, let's see if I can do it this way. All right. So we are here for the Friday. I don't have any other closings. Let me see here. Uh, Let me do it this way. I am bad with my typing today. All right, why can't I? All right, I can't send it that way. Now I'm just trying to send somebody a quick message, but it ain't gonna work that way. So, all right. So when we gotta, Samantha Smith is gonna try to swing in here when she gets a chance. So once I see her in here, I send give her the link so she can hop on with us and everything, and all that good stuff. So look, yeah, this week has been good. And I know we've been having every people been having some wins and wanted to hear from y'all as to some of the wins that y'all have been having. Um, I'll tell you, like this week, the last couple of days have been pretty on point. What's going on, Robin? We got Crystal, we got my man Q, we got Shannon rolling on up in here. So the end part of the week, let me make sure everything, all right, all of that's confirmed. So all my appointments are confirmed. So yeah, and thanks for hitting that like button, y'all. Really appreciate that. So I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't care what anybody say. And people get mad at me all you want. You can get all up in my comment sections and this, that, and the other, talking smack. But you just need to get your butt out there and do some work. Okay. So this week, let me get my numbers right. Let me get my numbers right. So I can make sure I'm sharing what I'm correctly with y'all. So this week, okay, I got 1, 2, 3, and that was from last week, 4. So earlier this week, I had a $75 order. Everybody's sitting up here talking all kind of smack about get that up a little higher. There we go. All kinds of smack and stuff. Now, I could have just said no to that order. I could have said no. I'm serious. Thank you, Crystal. I could have straight up said no to that order. And I can't say that something positive has happened, but there's a chance it could. I go to an order for sellers, $75. Right now, people are probably just ripping their skin off because they're like, how dare you go and do that? And you're killing the notary world. Well, in doing that $75 order, I'm sitting here with two mortgage people from caliber loans. I can say they don't know who, it's nothing big secretive about it, but I'm sitting here, two mortgage people from Caliber. Now, this isn't to say, all right, let me shoot her the email. This isn't to say that I got an in with them. No, no. Okay. But what this is saying is that you never know who you might be, because I've been with people who've are originators for like Movement Mortgage and loan officers for Movement Mortgage, BB&T when they was around, and who else was that? It was BB&T, SunTrust, Town Bank. Yeah, matter of fact, Town Bank. Yeah, I was sitting there with the lady who, man, she actually she was a big wig with Town Bank, So there we go. Hold on, just sending this to Samantha real quick. So you could be in there with anybody. But what was nice is that I'm sitting here, and while I'm doing the signing, they were sitting up there evaluating me as I was doing the signing, checking me out, seeing how I flow, how I do things. And lately I've been hearing from these signers, whether they're with a mortgage company or not, they're like, hey, you're very well organized. And if y'all look at my video of me doing the doc prep, all of that helps. Now, I'm not saying that you have to doc prep, but it helps. But the bottom line is being organized. So I'm sitting here with them two, and they're like, give me your card. Because we have people, and they told me, they said, we have notaries, we have a title company we specifically work with and everything. And they mentioned the title company name. And I said, yeah, I've done stuff from them. They said, okay, good. And that title company has called me directly and said, hey, you've been requested. So it's not far-fetched for them to say, okay, well, we feel comfortable with this guy, because they call us remote notaries. And when I was talking to them, I said, we mean remote online notaries? They said, nah, notaries who do what you're doing go out, and we consider y'all remote notaries, that y'all go out for us and we have to work with y'all remotely. I said, okay, got it. But had I not taken that $75 order, which many of you probably passed up that day, I wouldn't have made that connection with those people. And that's the thing you gotta understand, is that you just never know how a order, irregardless of the price, might open up doors of opportunity for you. And that's one of the things that you really, really, really got to keep in mind. You have to keep that in mind, that I'm going in here to provide a service, as my man Q always talks about. We're providing a service, and in that can be something great can come out for as a relationship. And I love it, So I was very happy. I just went in there doing my thing, and next thing I know, it's like, give me your card. I'm like, oh, okay, here you go. And that's been happening a lot more, because people are starting to find out. They're like, oh, okay, well, the mortgage people sometimes didn't know, oh, I can have a mobile notary do stuff. Yeah. Okay, great. And they appreciate that. So again, don't always get caught up on, I can't, I have to make a high dollar amount for the orders. No, you have to just get the orders first and then make things happen. Because if you can get in with a company and they're like, hey, I really would like to work with you more directly, that is great. And we're going to be bringing Samantha on in just a second, because as I shared with y'all, I went and did a signing for a young lady. Somewhere along the line, she was impressed with the way I conducted myself and handled, did things. And she said, can I just have you come without going through them? Can I just have them send me the paperwork, and I just work with you directly without going through all this signing company stuff? I said, yeah. I said, that's your call. And if you want, I'll be there. And she called me up and she was like, can you make it? I'll be there. Paid me. Everything was good. So that's what you can do, but you can't get to that level if you're not taking the orders. And some of my best opportunities for continued work has been with orders under $100. Has been those quote unquote low ball orders, which I don't call them low ball. I call them low offers, because the offer is low. Yeah. But it's not necessarily a low ball, because low ball typically means you and that person have an agreed upon price, and then somebody goes off of that agreement and offers you much lower than what the agreed upon price is. And coming into this, none of us has an agreement with any of these companies to be paid a certain amount. If you do, and then they go lower, then technically that's a low ball offer. But they're offering a lower fee. It is what it is. All right. So I'm gonna bring Samantha on here, and we're gonna let her do her thing as she always does. That's it. The queen of Georgia, everything. I am so stoked, happy you able to come on here today for however long you want to hang. I just enjoy conversating with you and hearing you talk about notary. I would say not that I won't say that you're like the female version of me, but you have the same heart and mind that I do from the young lady side, that you want to see people do this thing right, because you recognize that if we can do it right today, it opens a door for you, let's say down the road when you decide to retire, that the notary business will be there, and it won't be all of these restrictions and regulations that make it hard for you. Or let's say if your kinfolk and all of that decide to get into business, there'll be a mobile notary industry for them, rather than we taking it away from all these mobile notary and we sticking it behind the door in the bank. So the floor is yours, lady.
Look, now, Fritter Friday is you, Griff. Like I'm just here to be a part of the conversation. I appreciate the invite. I definitely want to stay in line with how you started. You were talking about wins.
Yeah.
And man, this industry is so important to identify your wins every day, every week. I know for me, I mean, in all transparency, the last 2 weeks have been super slow for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine, because I do work a full-time job. So it
Right.
gave me a little freedom, at the end of my day. But
Mm-hmm.
it was slower than usual. And when I went into my notary assist and was just looking at my numbers, I noticed that last month was lower than I had anticipated as far as the goals that I set.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wake up yesterday and it's like, boom, I had like 7 or 8 offers. And I'm just like, okay, let me get all this organized. And, it
Mm-hmm.
pushed me into next week, which I'm super grateful for. But, if we're not careful, we won't identify the wins of rest. We won't
Mm-hmm.
identify the wins of being able to take a break and take a pause. We won't identify the wins of, when things kind of jump back off. So we got to be ready to look at everything as a potential win. So those were my wins for the week. I like anytime I get a chance to kind of chill out and not do anything. I see someone, Miss Shannon, thank you for joining us last night. My major win this week, as always, is the work we get to do with the Georgia Notary Network. And so we
Mm-hmm.
hosted a workshop last night with Maverick Signings. There are so many people who don't know about the automotive signing industry. And that's just another opportunity. Loan closings are not the only thing to do out here. The automotive signing industry just proves it. People are buying all kind of stuff online, and these documents need to be notarized. So we had an amazing session last night with those two operations managers with Maverick, and we had a full house of eager notaries, literally nationwide. I think we had somebody from Orlando, Florida, from New York. I think we had somebody from Arizona, California, but we just had a great time. So, that was a major win for me. Anytime we get to share some really good information with the notary community, that's always a huge win. Always.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, nah, Fritter Friday, look, it's whatever it needs to be. Okay. Fritter Friday, and whatever it needs to be. If there's something that somebody needs to communicate and share that's going to be helpful to the notaries, I have no problem sharing my platform with anybody concerning anything. We
Mm-hmm.
here, trying to deal with some of the misinformation. And I know I get a lot of flack, and I know people, and I keep trying to tell people I'm not coming at y'all. Here's something that people need. This is what I learned a long time ago, and I wish I could remember which business person or preacher, whoever I learned it from. But they say sometimes they say you got to learn how to separate the behavior from the person.
That's a good one.
The behavior from the person. And you have to look at it from the standpoint of, with the behavior, the question is the behavior that's happening in the notary industry for as these, what I consider bad actors, people pumping folks' mindset up and all of this, giving them the wrong perspective, is that something just strictly indicative of that individual who's doing it? Or is it something that other people could also be doing or are doing? Because in some areas of life, you can have somebody making a statement and it's really just that person, and nobody else is buying in on it, but that person is always. So then it's like, okay, if you deal with the person, you deal with the statement. But then when you have a statement being made and other people are buying in on that statement, now it becomes, okay, well, we need to deal with this behavior, because now people are using that as a way to try to say, okay, well, notaries, if you plan on making money, you got to do this, you got to do that. So there's this statement, and a lot of people I know get upset with me when I talk about the, as I was to clarify, the over explaining of the documents. There's nothing out there that definitively says we're supposed to be doing that legally according to state law. So irregardless of who are the people who are saying it, man, woman, black, white, Asian, whoever, the question is, let's get rid of the person. Is that statement correct? Is that statement something that's correct that every notary should be trying to implement in their life in every area, in all the different states? It's either yes or no. If the answer is yes, then how do we do it, and how do we do it correctly? If the answer is no, then the question becomes,
That's all right.
Hold on one second.
You need to take that call. Take that call.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can still hear me, but thank y'all for being here today. I see some of the names. Hey, Q. Hey, Tamika. Hey, Frank. Miss Amber says she finally caught her alive. Hey, Amber. I'm just hanging out with Griff today for his famous Fritter Friday, which, you know, I don't know where he came up with that, but I love it. But I'm gonna piggyback off of something he mentioned earlier while he handles his business when it comes to this lowball fees. Just like I want to go direct, are notary speak that a lot of people hear in these groups. They hear in these, you know, clubhouse rooms. It's notary speak. It's a term. It's a phrase that new notaries, I believe, pick up, and they pick up in a way that they kind of go back and ignorantly use. So before we talk about a lowball fee, remember, when you apply for these signing companies, they see your commission. They see you just became a notary 2 days ago. Why would they offer you more money to go out here and potentially, you know, not know what you're doing? But you're in these groups talking about lowball fees, and you haven't had enough time on your belt to actually hone your craft or to be good at what you're doing. So I subscribe with Griff. When I first started, I didn't mind taking a $50. Now, it still had to make sense. I'm not driving 5 hours for $50, but correct. I am going to go for $50 for the experience, so that I can build that relationship with that signing company or whoever is calling on me. And also to give me some more experience about how to price my fees when it came to direct opportunities. See, signing services, I know, to me, no different than direct, because you still got to build relationships. You really have to connect with people. I tell folks all the time, start connecting with them in that little text box that they give you, where they actually send you over those assignments. Connect with people, and you know, stop picking up this extra language from these groups that you're hearing, and you're not even really applying them correctly. get some time under your belt before you start talking about lowball fees, because some of y'all ain't earned $150 per signing. Truth be told, like it or love it, no shade. Some of you have not earned $150 per signing. You ain't earned $200 per signing. Even if a trainer tells you to go charge that, you haven't earned it. So make sure you're earning it by adding value to the situation.
That is correct. And that's one of the things that people need to understand. I'm just trying to do something real quick.
Hey,
There we
Sean.
go. Gabe, what's going on, Notary Institution? Yeah, so and I want people to understand, yes, I hear about certain individuals that do this and say this and all of that. But I also look at the behavior, because when I come across people who aren't a trainer and then they're regurgitating the same thing in my comment section, and they're sitting up here talking about these companies are taking advantage of us. Okay, where's your proof? Just like I did the Fritter Friday last week, talking about people talking about SnapDocs is stealing clients from us. Where's the proof? Because if we're in a world, if we are taking oaths, saying we're going to abide by something, and we take oaths and affidavits, that we swear that the statement that we say is true to the best of our knowledge, and we asking them, then is the statement you're saying about these people and about this stuff true to the best of your knowledge? It goes both ways. Right. I mean, so you have to be careful of going around saying, okay, this company is doing this. Now, did they do something that might have appeared that way? Or maybe they did, I don't know. But let's just say, where's the foundation of your information? Because if you're saying this in 2022, is it based off of something that went down in 2017, 2018? And now you're saying because they did something back then, 4 or 5 years later, you're still going around within the notary social media groups claiming that this company or that company is still doing this nefarious stuff. Mm-hmm. By doing that and not having proper proof, you're telling notaries basically your ability to make money is limited, because at the same time, some of these same individuals are actually going around saying, make sure when you first become a notary to sign up with SnapDocs. So on one end, you're telling me to sign up with a company that is actually going to do me wrong. And I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense. That's like, we go to the club and you see old Raekwon over there. Sorry, but guys, Raekwon, or Cody, and you're like, well, you know how, but girl, you should give him a shot. Wait a minute. Why do I need to give a guy who you said cheated on you a shot? You're telling me to do something that is going to hurt me. Why? And that's the part that doesn't make sense, is that notary, they say, well, go do this, but it's not going to work out for you. And then stuff that could work out for you, nobody has any real justification. So when I'm talking about stuff, I'm actually trying to deal with the behavior. Because at some point in time, some of these folk who are running off at the mouth, they're going to retire, but what they are saying is going to linger on. And that same spirit, that same mindset lingers on. So then when you have somebody, let's just say this lady here, Amber Johnson, 3-4 years down the road, and she decides to start training and helping notaries out in a more direct way. And then here it is 4 years later, from 2022, you're talking about 2026, that same stuff is being said. Lowball this, don't do this. It's like, wait a minute. At some point in time, we got to address that stuff, and that's why we were saying in Clubhouse today, and I had to get off Clubhouse for a while because I was getting in trouble over there. People get mad at me. But I like Judi Lawrence, so I can hop on hers and be in her not in Lori's. There's a safe space for me and about 2-3 other people. But we were saying, with the trainers, there needs to be a standard. And that's what I was saying. There's no standard for trainers. Mm-hmm. What's the minimum amount of experience should a person have to be a notary trainer?
Look, I've seen people be a notary for 6 months and then start branding themselves as a mentor/trainer. I personally seen that. And I'm like, well, what qualifies you? And I'm not hating on anybody. Maybe you're great. Maybe you're amazing. I don't know. But when you're talking about the nature of what we do, what is it that qualifies you to be able to teach new notaries outside of just the length of time that you've been doing it? And to be quite honest, trainers aren't talking about this. They're able to get people to pay $2.99 and $5.97. That 97 gets me every time. $5.97 to take these training classes because they're talking about the documents, because notaries think that's all that they need, when they need to hear about how to handle a disgruntled customer. They need to know about how to handle when a signing services offerings get low. They need to learn about the things outside of the documents. You can never teach a notary every single document, because you're teaching documents from every single state, and that's impossible.
Correct.
So it's like, even the training, and I'm not going to say that it's bad, but I will say that it's insufficient, because we're not talking about the level of customer service you need to have, the temperament you need to have, the patience you need to have. I was on a platform, and it was just like, well, I do this by myself, and I do this and I do that. Well, baby, if that's what you're doing, go right ahead. But everybody ain't in the position to do that. And if you're doing all of that, why are you here? So a lot of that, nobody's training on how to handle yourself as a business person. One of the first things I think I wrote down when I created an ebook was, you're a notary and you're a business owner. You can't be a good notary and sloppy bookkeeper. You can't know how to manage money, but don't know how to manage people. So you got to be willing to do both. And very few trainers are talking about both sides of that.
That is correct. Now, I will say that I've been hearing some people, some trainers are now talking about proper notarizations. And I just be, yeah, I'm saying because they probably heard me talk about it, and I've been pushing it for over a year.
You was dragging them, Griff. You be dragging them.
Yeah,
you be dragging them.
Well, if you think about it, and again, okay, it's not trying to pick on anybody. It's just looking at what's being offered. Okay. So what I look at the different people's trainings, even when I come across, I don't search them out. But when I look at them, I'm like, okay, you're teaching this, you're teaching that, you're teaching this, you're teaching that. Got it. But then when I see the notarization aspect of it is like next to last in the module, and you got all of this other stuff, I'm like, well, before you probably even get to a Google My Business page, you're probably going to be asked to notarize something. Before you get to a website, you're probably going to be asked to do something, but you're not going to get taught how to notarize until you get all the way down into chapter 32 of the lesson. Well, that's a concern of mine.
That doesn't sell the tickets. Correct. Learning how to notarize don't sell the tickets. These courses are being built off of people's pain points with it, which is a marketing standpoint. And the pain point is, how do I get business? How do I market myself? How do I learn the documents? These courses are being built off the pain points, not the purpose of what it is you're doing as a notary public. So yeah, they're going to sprinkle the notarization at the end, but also be mindful. If they sprinkling it at the end, that means they're not doing it themselves. Just my perspective. I could be wrong. But if you're going to teach something, you're going to teach it off of the importance of it. And if they're not making that important or paramount, it's because they're probably not doing it themselves.
And that's one of the things that I said, and I hadn't said this in a while, is that people teach based on their experience. Yeah. So what I teach, the way I teach has to start from my experience. So if I've been in a business for 8 months, I'm teaching you off of 7 months of experience. If I've been in it 3 years, I'm teaching you off of at least 2 years and 11 months of experience that I've had. Then it goes into, well, what's the quality of the experience? Did you, just like a guy who's in the NBA or in the NFL, he's been in the league for 3 years or 4 years, but his experience in the league has been 85% on the bench, on the second string team. So he comes over to a new team, and now he's like, okay, now I'm gonna teach y'all how to flourish in the NFL or in the NBA. Okay, got it. You've been in for a while. but what's the level of your experience? Well, you can teach me how to be a bench rider, how to be on a second string team, how to be on a practice squad, right? But you can't teach me what I need to know. I want to be a starter. I want to play. I want to be on the floor with Steph Curry, LeBron, KD, all of them. And all you really do is get to play with them in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Matter of fact, during the warm-up, you sitting over there off on the side. They don't even let you come out on the court.
Mm-hmm.
But yet at the 6-year mark in your, or even just a few months in the second year you've been in the league, now you want to sit here, okay, well, let me teach y'all how to do this. And it's like,
Well, but you know what, Griff, if you think about it like this, though, and we're going to stick with basketball, you want to be the Steph Curry, you want to be the LeBron, all this, other, that, and the third. LeBron went to the gym and to practice on his own.
Right.
Steph Curry go and shoot extra shots on his own. I'm sure everybody, whether you know basketball or not, how Kobe would be in there with the lights off on his own. So a lot of this stuff that you expecting a notary instructor, trainer, mentor to teach you, you got to get out on the court and in the field on your own and start developing these skills and these talents and these habits. Nobody can teach you how to speak. Nobody can teach you, whatever the lingo is or the current notary phrases. No one can teach you that stuff. You got to get out here and you got to, guess what? And you got to sometimes get it wrong to learn it.
Right. Yeah. And the people, what I'm finding that a lot of people are very, very worried about failing. And again, it's nothing wrong with failure. Okay. People go to work every day and we fail. We fail at our W-2s. And why is it that a person can fail at their W-2, but they're afraid to fail at this notary business? Because of what they think the punishment is going to be. Well, who told you that the type of punishment? In your job, if you make a mistake, you've been told that, oh, don't worry about it. Look, we got you. We'll show you how to do it, this, that, and the other. If you make a mistake, ... Very rarely when you start a job are you told if you make a mistake, it's going to be instant, excommunication, you in the street. But with the notary business, a lot of people put that out there up front. They tell notaries, well, this notary thing, if you make a mistake, you can go to jail. If you do this wrong, you can go to jail. So you're told that. So it's hard to learn or be focused on learning and to receive stuff correctly when you have the fear of going to jail as the primary thing in your mind as you're trying to learn something. I mean, you're thinking that I can go to jail if I don't notarize this correctly. And I have missed stamps. I have made mistakes and I am still here. I am not in lockup doing the lives, y'all. Okay. Just so y'all know, I am not in lockup. Okay.
That's a fake background. You locked up somewhere.
So y'all got to realize that nobody wants to put a notary in jail. But I think if people would focus more on making sure that folk know how to do stuff right, then you will be okay. Stop. And it's like I'm scaring people or they're scaring people in order to take the course. But that's why I did that video, them 2 videos a while back, 6 months ago, about who got you scared in this business, because that fear, the only way you can mitigate fear is to face it. And that's what Samantha was just saying. By you facing the fear, Kobe facing his fear of missing shots, Shaq and all of them, they go out there and they practice and they learn stuff from people who will help in the system. And the people who are helping these athletes and helping these business owners, they're not sitting there saying, okay, well, look, I'm gonna be your mentor, but you need to know the first thing I want to tell you is that you might go to jail. That ain't the first thing coming out of these guys. I'm gonna let you know, if you follow my instructions and you do things right, you're gonna make money and you're gonna be rich. That's what do you think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what Robert Kiyosaki tell his people and all of that, and Elon Musk and all of that. They're not going around telling people you're going to jail if you come over here and work with me. No, you're going to learn if you apply yourself and you'll move forward. I got the money books for both of y'all.
But you know what though, Griff, I am a proponent of learn your limitations, optimize your opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know that if you in here with some slick stuff, you going to jail. You need to know
Correct.
that. I subscribe to that. You do need to know that. But I think what's more detrimental is that people come into this thinking it's a joke, that it's easy. All I got to do is show up and stamp. People who have that mindset need to know you'll go to jail operating like that if you think that this is what the industry is about. However, if you have goals and are really wanting to set up and move forward in an established business, you can make money to do X, Y, and Z. So I think it really depends on who you're dealing with, who you're talking to, and even to go back to what you said. I don't know if it's the fear. So at my W-2, if I mess up, I got a team of people around me. I got enough eyes to support what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I might be the final word in something, but I got enough eyes before, even if I create it, once I send it back out to be reviewed,
Gotcha.
I got enough eyes for me. When it comes to doing this business, I don't expect Griff's teachings to save everything. This is
Right.
where I do my due diligence. And I think notaries come into the business with the expectation that if Mr. Griff don't tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do, if Mr. Samantha don't tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do, then it's going to be a problem. And now I can point the finger back at them. No, your business is about your due diligence and what you got going on for your business. And so I think the expectation needs to shift. I know you've
Right.
had people come to you like they come to me. Well, can I really make money in this business? Should I come in because of X, Y, Z? You can make money doing anything. The
Mm-hmm.
question is, what are you willing to do? What effort and energies are you willing to put in it? Because, and this is why I don't mentor. You're not gonna hang your failures up on me and then go shout your successes like I ain't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
That's on you. And I encourage people, go out here and be successful. It's not about name dropping, but you're not gonna hang your failures up on me. I have people in my inbox all the time. Well, why you can't just tell me X, Y, Z? Because baby, this is your experience, not mine.
Right.
And I screenshot and keep all mine just in case they ever try to come back up with some foolery later. I hold on to all of that. But I encourage people to do this for yourself and decide. Now, I will give guidance, but I'm not telling you what to do because your experience is different from mine. Your goals are different from mine. What you want out of it is going to be different from what I'm getting out of it. And that's the extent of my help. You want some information? I'll shoot you some links. I remember you and I had this conversation that people don't want to use their own critical thinking skills.
Mm-hmm.
You got to apply your own skills to this, your own thought process to this process. It's not just about what Griff say or what Miss Samantha say. This your stuff. This your baby. Go out here and raise your baby and take care of your baby.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm trying to do is help people to do their thing. That's why, and I know I'm a little, sometimes I get a little too methodical with my new business, the Notary Success System. But my motto is helping you to develop a system of success for yourself. Because what I realize is that, and that motto came from various conversations I've had with notaries where they say, I just want to try to figure out my method and process to be successful, because they start realizing that once they get into some of these mentors and some of the trainers, that the way that person's personality is and the way their drive is different from them, and they're not willing to do certain things those certain sacrifices. So they're like, I get it and I applaud them for being successful, but that really ain't me. That's not the way I want to run my business. That's not the way I envision. Because what happens is if I'm trying to help Samantha, the way my vision is for my business should not become hers. And a mentor is supposed to help you to develop yours. So it's not about just teaching somebody how to check the boxes, but it's helping them to understand what boxes to check for their vision. So you got to get a vision in place. And if you really want to be mentored, it takes some time and some effort and some you getting fussed at, and it ain't gonna always be nice. So that's why I tell people if they want to be mentored by me, it starts with my videos, because what I say in my videos is what I would tell you one-on-one. That's why I put so many videos out trying to deal with these various subjects so that you can look and say, okay, well, he said this, but then I get people that'll contact me wanting to see if what I said in the video I meant. And I'm like, that is not the kind of person I am. I'm not the guy who's going to say this, that, and the other in the video and then get you over here on the side and be like, look, I really ain't mean none of that. This is really what it is. I said, because, and like I told several people, I don't know you. I don't know you. So you got me over here in the corner somewhere and I'm going to tell you something way different than what I put on the video. And then let's just say my little side conversation pops for you and makes you all kinds of money. Everybody else going to be like, whoa. And then what you going to do? What Griff told me. And then I'm going to have everybody up on me. No, I'm not unfair like that. I am not unfair like that whatsoever. And everything. So what did you say here? Yep. At the end of the day, you have to take care of your own notary business. It's your name. You have to do, you have to have integrity when you look at it. And see, here's the thing. A lot of people from day one that I've been on YouTube, they say, well, the notaries, it's your job to do this, that, and the other. And I agree. But here's the thing. You have human beings who are marketing themselves to say, I can help you. They are soliciting new people to come to them. Well, guess what? The person who's soliciting to get people to train and to help and to educate, you're also in a business and you also need to do it as an integrity. So the new person is trying to figure out how to do it in integrity. They've never done this before. This is new to them. You have been doing it. But if the way you're doing things is not in integrity, and then it hurts people, you can't sit there and say, well, hey, look, they should have did a better job of vetting me. They should have figured out that I was really a snake in the grass. I mean, because that's really what it is. It's like, okay, well, how about this? Let none of us be snakes in the grass. Let none of us be dishonest. Why can't we? Because if we are taking the oath, and I was saying this on Clubhouse, I think the disheartening thing I know for me is here we are in an industry where we took an oath to do things right. And when you think about it, off the top of my head, there's 4 areas that I know right now that take oaths that mean something. The politicians, when they serve in Congress or state government, and the people that serve in state government, the military, the police, and us.
Physicians.
Okay, and physicians. Okay, so we take oaths to do things in accordance with such and such and such. Everybody, and it's almost like everybody else who takes those oaths are required to operate within them. But when it comes to notaries, it's like, well, we don't want to mess with somebody's hustle. We don't want to stop. Okay, but guess what? Yesterday, I just did a daggone settlement for a lady who's on hospice because of some kind of medical device that messed her up, and she's dying from it. So I'm like, they've been held accountable because they took an oath, the Hippocratic oath and all of that stuff to do things right. Police officers, people trying to hold them accountable. The military, holding them accountable, when there's a war, not to do certain atrocities. I mean, heck, you see the war we got going on now. There's certain rules and like, okay, hey, we need to make a safe lane so that humanitarian aid can get in and all of that. But then when we get to the notary, it's like, well, if somebody wants to do this and they want to train and they want to start their own little side thing, I'm not against that. The question is, would you send your own son or daughter to that person to be taught the business that you're doing? If the answer is yes, okay, cool. But I'm pretty sure for some people, it's like, nah. So all I'm saying is we need to have integrity across the board with everybody in this business. And if we did, I think some of the marketing, some of the promises, some of the stuff that's being said wouldn't be there if we had integrity. If the Facebook managers I'm not saying that they don't have integrity, but if they let integrity rule, you would not allow somebody to be getting cussed out because they asked a question about how to notarize something, or they're excited about the fact that they got their first order and it was $60, and now you have some other notary land basing them because of that. When integrity rules and allowed to have its way, you don't have people being allowed to do that. Because as much as people talk about, oh, it's just words, them words hurt. And what people don't realize,
Especially a new notary.
right, words hurt. Look, there are people out here that have been physically hurt, beat up, attacked, so forth and so on, but their spirit is strong. But there are people who have never been physically hurt and they have broken spirits because of words that people spoke to them. The words that a person can speak to you can crush you so bad that you don't even want to get up out the bed. Somebody can punch you in the chest, kick you down the stairs, but because your spirit and your mind is strong and your belief in yourself to do something, you'll get up and you'll keep going. But when somebody says certain words to you and they hit you, them words is that's why I never subscribed when I was a kid. All that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I'm like, that's a lie. I'm like, words can hurt. What's the first thing well, some of them never in boot camp, but in boot camp, the first thing they do, they start talking to you in such a way to demoralize you and to break you down, to get you out of a certain mindset, and then they try to build you back up. It's the words that builds a person back up. You see what I'm saying? Nobody can't beat you up and that builds you up. No, that physically hurts you. There's no beating and then that builds you up. It's the words that somebody speak to you. So we got to be careful about what we're saying. And you can't keep making people think that, oh, this is the way we're supposed to operate as notaries. For as I know what we'll do, we'll just have everybody sign everything. We'll have everybody stamp everything, and that'll just cover us. No. And then you're wondering why you're getting blacklisted. And that's what's happening, Samantha. Notaries are telling me what they're doing in their closings. And I tell them, I said, that's why you're probably not getting any more orders, because who told you to stamp every single document, whether it needs to be signed or not? And they're like, they won't tell me. I asked them, but they won't tell me. They like, oh, that's what I was told. But that's what I heard in this Facebook group. That's what I heard over here. And I'm like, why is somebody willing to share that kind of information to another group of human beings in their industry without even having proof that that is even something valid? Where's the responsibility on the person speaking out of their mouth? We're putting all the responsibility on the person who's hearing this stuff. And it's almost like you're saying, receive all of the information, no matter how negative it is, but the blame for the negative information and the wrong information being told to you is not on the person, it's on you because you chose to listen to the wrong stuff. The problem is we don't know in the beginning what is right and what is wrong. That's where the issue comes in at. And, like my man Matthew is saying here, words are very powerful. We have to be careful what we say to our children and our loved ones and all of that. So I just think that, well, now, Mr. D, you saying have thick skin. Why do my skin need to? I mean, when you're saying thick skin, I mean, you got to clarify that, because in this industry, we shouldn't have to have thick skin when it comes to being educated on how to do stuff correctly.
Especially if we paid for it, because right. I'm not paying for you to belittle me. I'm not paying for you to tear me down. I'm not paying for you to maybe flex your muscles because you have more expertise maybe than I do. I ain't paying for that.
Right. And that's the difference, because you see, again, if you think about the process, there's a set of human beings who are notaries who have decided to solicit other human beings who are notaries and say, I can help you. And in order for you to get this help, I need to be paid. So now I'm paying you, but what you shared with me has not produced and is not going to produce anything viable for me to go like for. My goal is simply this. when I talk and I teach and I try to share with people is this: whatever I'm going to do, it's going to help you to be at least, you can run with it for like hopefully 2 to 3 years. Help you the first 2 to 3 years in your business. Right? You're saying, yeah, Shirley's saying it's two different mindsets, old and new. Well, I would say it's two different mindsets, right and wrong. Because old versus new, because okay, the question is which mindset is wrong? Because there's some old mindsets that are wrong and the new ones are correct, and vice versa. So it's really about what's right and what's wrong. So that's where you have to understand, like Samantha was talking about earlier, the different types of documents. This company has documents that's a certain way. What they want done is correct. This company has documents another way. What they want done to them is correct. You see what I'm saying?
I think one of the ways that it'll be important moving forward for any notary is to understand that all the documents are different, but the notarization is what's going to be standard.
Correct.
And if you learn the notarization, it don't matter if you're notarizing on a napkin. The notarization is what's important for those who can notarize, paper, just throw that in there, handwritten notes. But the notarization is what's standard. That's what you need to learn. Documents are going to change. I mean, we just had the uniform loan application have some changes. Right. That was used for a long time, but the documents will change unless your state comes out and say, now you got to stand on your head to do a notarization. Your notarization going to stay the same. Learn that. If you don't learn nothing else when you come into the industry, learn your notarizations first, period.
Right. Yeah, and that's key. So, I mean, and I've still been getting phone calls from people who don't understand how to notarize. I'm sure you getting that and everything. And just real quickly, explain to people, especially because I'm sure there's some new folk on here, because they keep hearing, like, some people say, well, you can make all this money, but they throw the caveat on there. And this is men and women who say this, who are marketing themselves on TV, on the internet for training. Well, you can make this money in an escrow direct state, but you're not an escrow state. You're an attorney state. So as an attorney state, because I'm sure there's people in here from Georgia, and if anybody's here and from Georgia and y'all haven't got started yet, throw a number 1 in the chat. If you're a notary in Georgia and you just now getting started and really haven't gotten started with signing, just throw a 1 in there. But help the people understand what's the difference about Georgia for as notarizations and how to function there as a notary.
Well, I'm gonna say this: Georgia has been getting a bad rap. I'm tired of y'all out here downplaying Georgia because it's I think 9 or 10. It's either 8 or 9 or 9 or 10 attorney states. Right. And the thing people have to understand is that even as an attorney state, we all aren't the same. All attorney states are not the same. There are differences in between the community of attorney states. But for Georgia, they are the Georgia attorney community, they know what's up. Notaries should not be out here functioning like a California notary, where they can go out and explain all these documents and all of that. This has been written up time and time again. It's based off of 2003 UPL or hearing results that said that we cannot do that. We cannot function as a notary signing agent. We cannot do it. We should not be facilitating our own closings. The attorneys are supposed to. And I try to encourage notaries here, do not look at it as a negative thing. Let the people who have studied, who have paid all this money for law school, let these people do their job, period. You, on the other hand, you're a business owner. Nobody just goes to McDonald's and throws them money without getting a hamburger, right? So go in there and show what you know how to do, show you know how to be supportive, show that you know how to, just the little things, have the right pens and materials and know how to talk to people, those things go a long way and they equate to dollar signs. You may not believe me, but they do. Just the fact that I do this a lot because there's a lot of business I can't take because of my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get on the phone quick, call somebody in the network, be like, hey, can you take this? Or somebody called me from North Georgia, can you come get this? Stuff like that adds value.
Right.
And you're looking at it as you giving away business. No, you setting yourself up as a resource because you know somebody who can handle the business. It's those things like that that I believe have made me successful in what I'm doing. But the biggest success came because I knew what my goals were. My goals weren't grift goals. Me and
Right.
LaShawn was talking about it the other day when she and I first connected. She was like, Sam, you should do this, you should do that. I know you could do this, you'll kill it in that. But that wasn't what I wanted to do, nor was it what I had time to do at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
just because you're in an attorney state, whether it's Georgia or somewhere else, you can still be successful, but you got to find that success. It's not going to come like everybody else's. You might get out here and kill it with signing services and sign up for all of them and be making just as much money as anybody.
Right.
Or you may find that lick where that attorney says, you know what, I'm new. I don't have an in-house notary, but if you would be my notary and assist me, like you could get business that way, but you can still be successful. And most importantly, you can still follow the rules. You can still be legal. What's important to know is that if you see a lot of people talking about success, do your homework. Some notaries are mortgage lenders, so they got access to this stuff. And so, yeah, they might be killing it. Some notaries are working directly for attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting fed business all the time. And then you have to ask yourself, are they an employee or are they still a business owner? Because they're working for the attorney's offices. You got to do your homework on the backstory of people with successes. And even for me, I run my business on a full-time, part-time basis.
Mm-hmm.
I am established as a full-time business, but time-wise, I can only do it part-time because of my obligations with my full-time job. So I'm not out here in the streets all the time notarizing. I just don't have the time to do it. And when I share that with people, you need to know that that's my limitation as far as my business. You may be able to go wide open, but you got to find those spots and those pockets that make you successful and stop looking at everybody else's story. It's about what you are able to do. What are you willing to do to go above and beyond for your business and not what anybody else is doing?
Yeah. And because see, the main thing, and just so for clarity, because you're talking about you need an attorney with regards to anything dealing with the mortgages.
With real estate,
With
yes.
real estate.
I've even been told by attorneys that it's about real estate. It's about just signing the deeds because those are tools of conveyance. I've gotten people, call just want you to come do a deed. Now, I do know that for Georgia, if it's private property and it's not tied to a bank or financial institution, I can go and support that family if they're just, selling property amongst each other. But, when it comes to the financed properties, having a mortgage, through a bank, you got to let the attorneys do it. Let these people do their job and you find where you add the most value to do yours.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's key, So I mean, I love doing what I'm doing. It's great. It's a wonderful business, but you have to learn how to properly operate so that you can be successful. Because one of the issues that I don't know if it's an issue, but one of the things, well, nah, yeah, it is an issue with me, is that in this business, it seems like I've never been in a business where everybody is telling each person we all need to be paid the same. Because when you really think about it, when they say don't take this order, I get paid this. So you're saying, so you're getting paid this fee, and then that means you're saying if I don't take that fee, then what other fee is there for me? I guess your fee. So you're making 150. You told me not to make 85. So then what other fee is there for me to aspire to? I guess your fee. But you don't see LeBron James saying everybody should be making what he's making. You don't see Tom Brady doing that. You didn't see, let's just say, I don't know who the baseball players are now, but Ken Griffey Jr. back when he was playing, everybody was, yeah, I'm dating myself.
Yeah, you
I
went
don't,
there.
yeah, I don't know who is the top dog outside of that. Maybe David Ortiz, Big Poppy. You don't see people in the sports arena. We don't even do that within our own job. We go in there and it's like, I'm going to work every single day to outperform all of you other cats here. And I know that at the end of the day, at the end of the year, my company normally the max I can get is a 3% pay raise. The average is 1.5 that they give everybody just across the board who just does basic average work. But when I throw in them smart goals and I fix those smart goals, this, that, and the other, and to show them what I'm doing, what I did this current year, and then what my goals are for next year, that should give them reason to give me the 3% raise. Nobody's coming out of that meeting with their manager saying, hey, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all how to get the 3% raise too. Don't nobody do that in their W-2. It's you're on your own. But we get into this notary business and it's like, okay, y'all, and this is my view on it. This is what they're saying. Okay, y'all, let's huddle up. In order for me to get paid what I want, I need all of y'all to don't get paid what y'all getting. I need y'all to keep begging for higher fees so I can keep getting higher fees. Ready? Break. I mean, that's the way I view it because I've never seen so many people get upset at somebody who's willing to get paid less than what they're getting paid. If somebody wants to get paid less than what you're getting paid, that's on them. And I'm having a hard time really believing because nobody's showing me definitive proof that a company is sitting here saying, I'm going to pay Samantha a lower fee because Griff wants to take a lower fee. I mean, I know there's some company that says that, but when you really look and I've looked deeper into it, those companies, they do things a little different. They don't plan on paying you any higher anyway. When you really look at some of those companies. Matter of fact, there's two companies right now. One company, they basically got paid the same amount for their notarial service. One company paid me the full amount. The other company paid me a portion of the amount. That's just their business model. That's just how they operate. And the fee was 150. So one of them like, we only giving you this. The other one was like, we're gonna give you 135 of the 150. But the other company was like, we giving you only 85 of the 150. That's just how they operate. That's just the way it is. So am I going around fussing and saying, hey, everybody, we got to get paid the same? No. What we have to do in order to get paid properly and consistently is what Samantha Smith said a few moments ago. Notarize properly. Because if you do that correctly and then go back and fix your mistakes like you may have done, everything will be fine. It's just that simple. Matter of fact, case in point, full transparency. I've been sitting here texting it. So after I do the Fritter Friday, I got to go get with somebody because I missed two initials. It was a set of documents that I had never seen before, and I didn't even realize that there was initials in the corner. And they hit me up while we've been here. They're like, hey, you missed this here. And I told him, I said, no problem. Get with him. I just told him, hey, once I finish, I'll be over there. He said, no problem. I didn't mess up the notarizations, but it was two documents where, okay, I missed those initials. Got it. My bad. No big deal. I mean, it's a big deal if I don't go back and fix it. But the thing is, it can happen. Things can happen. I thought I caught everything. I caught all the other initials, but I missed those two. So I go back, get those fixed, and we have at it. So wherever you're at, and I'm not trying, what, Samantha, the reason why I talk about Georgia so much is because I get a lot of the people from your state calling me.
What they want?
What they want to know is why nobody told them that y'all was an attorney state before they took training.
I'm that's so unfortunate.
That's why they call me.
Unfortunate.
They call me and they're like, wait a minute, hold up. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They call me and they're like, grip. Because I mean, I guess because they see me, I'm almost everywhere. I'm not on the internet that much. I'm just on there a little bit. So they called me up and they're like, hey, I was told, I just found out that I'm in an attorney state. Can you help me? And I'm like, nah. And Samantha, I be sending folk your way.
I
And
know.
see, I send them your way. I tell them, and I'm like, you got to learn the proper way to do it. And I know you had people contact me from your state to help them out with just the basics of what I can for understanding how to just do the business after they've learned from you how y'all operate there. But it's been disheartening that a lot of people from Georgia contact me saying that they didn't know Georgia was a attorney state, and they're like, "Is there any way I can function in here, and still do these real estate closings?" And I'm like, I tell them straight up, I said, "You do not want to hear me try to give you an answer on that because I am not in that realm. You need to reach out to the GAN, and they have information to help you to come to the proper knowledge
Yeah.
of what you are to do as a notary in that state." And now, one thing I do tell them that I learned from you is that you cannot call yourself a notary signing agent there because that's not the way Georgia looks at y'all. I said, Georgia doesn't look at y'all that way. So you need to leave that terminology alone and understand how you're supposed to operate. And then I also tell them that do not go down to your commission office and the state people talking about when can I start making $300 a signing and all that kind of stuff. I said, don't go doing that. I said, that's the only the pieces of advice I can tell you is that don't go running around talking about where my money at and stuff. Oh, and the third one, don't go around talking about you can do Ron because for last I heard, you got to have an attorney with you. And there's been people sitting up there on Clubhouse talking about, yeah, I do Ron. And everybody starts like, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? You in Georgia? And this is the problem. Nobody gives any clarification. Everybody.
I'm gonna just say this right here because I got to get ready to go.
Yeah.
As for Ron in Georgia, our governor just, I guess like March the 21st, I think was the date. He signed the final executive order extending Ron to April the 15th. Lo and behold, today is April the 15th. After today, there is no remote online notarization for anybody because Georgia is trying to get back to be live in action and popping. There'll be no need for remote anything. We still got to be live and in person. The executive order was just to cover us while we were under the state of emergency. Well, according to this executive order, the state of emergency is out of the door as of April the 15th, today. So maybe attorneys are still using that platform. It did not say, I did not see where it said that we could still do it with an attorney after today. But from how I read it, no, ain't nobody, you're not doing Ron in Georgia after today, because that is when the executive order ends. And I believe we put it on the Georgia Notary Network LinkedIn page. It's a post, but that's what it is. And so, and I don't mind. I got off of Clubhouse because of all the chatter. I like facts. I'd rather be convicted than to be confirmed. Tell me what I did wrong as opposed to tell me what make me feel good enough to go out here and do this thing because I want to do it. No, tell me where I'm wrong so that I'll understand. For Georgia, it says that you cannot do real estate closings outside of an attorney. It doesn't say you can never do them. It says you can't do them outside of an attorney. So when it comes to getting these opportunities, yeah, you could go to an attorney's office and market yourself and say, hey, I'm a notary. I'd like to support you in, doing your closings. You could do that. You can get on any signing platforms. And when an opportunity comes up, you ask for the attorney because you're a Georgia notary. Now, from my understanding, it's for Georgia properties. If you're dealing with a property in a state that says we don't need an attorney, I've been told two things. Still follow the Georgia law because you're a Georgia notary. Your feet are in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've heard notaries say, I'm on it. I'm going to take it because it's not a Georgia property. I encourage notaries, you do what you feel like you need to do for your business, but also make sure you are set up to accept the liabilities that come along with trying to take on all the extra responsibilities for $150. Because I guarantee you, you'll get sued for more than $150 if you don't do it properly. Do what you want. I'm just telling you the two schools of thought, and I'm telling you what it says in our handbook. For Georgia properties, you should not be doing this on your own. You should not be out here seeking out opportunities to do it on your own. Support these attorneys while they're doing their business here in Georgia when it comes to real estate closings.
Yeah, and that's the key because yeah, I've come across a few people that say that they're doing, and feel free to, if you want, Samantha, type in the chat your Georgia Notary Network website and everything. That's all I'm advocating. All I'm advocating is that anybody who's going to put their face out there to help notaries, make sure you're educated enough to be able to direct them into the right arena. So when people call me about Maryland, about which they got to get a title producer license up there, I refer them to a guy named Stanley up there. Heirloom Notaries, however you spell heirloom, I think HIERLOOMS Notary, Heirloom Notary. I refer them to him. Anybody coming to me from Georgia, I say, hey, look, you need to reach out to Samantha. Now, if they tell me they've already reached out to you, and because you didn't necessarily, placate to them like they wanted, I'm like, look, don't come. You can't come rubbing up on me because you ain't getting me in trouble.
She didn't tell me nothing. No, I didn't tell you nothing you wanted to hear to satisfy what you already know you're going to do. So why did you come and ask me in the first place?
Right.
And I'm always, very polite, even when I have to text people and they getting, with all caps with their yelling and stuff. That's all fine and good. But I'm not here to just tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what I do, but at the end of the day, it's your business. You're going to do what you want to do. And I wholeheartedly support you in your decision. But I'm not going to tell you just because you want to go do it and you heard in the Facebook group you could do it. And that Facebook group is not going to come and stand and testify for you in court.
That's the key. So I mean, we have a great opportunity here, people, to do some wonderful, wonderful things. And there it is. I found the link.
Oh, I'm sitting here trying to type it into okay, go ahead.
I got you. So that's the link to the Georgia Notary Network. If you're down there and need help, or for those of you who are starting to get questions from people in Georgia, direct them to that link right there. That's what you need to do. We need to have a balance in doing things right. And I always use the kids as an example. We want people to educate our kids correctly and do our kids properly in school. So therefore, as an adult, we should want the same for us, especially if you're paying for something in your school for your kid, paying for them to go on a field trip, paying for them to do this, you want things to be done right, paying for college, all of that. You want the professors and the deans and all of them to do right when your money is involved. So the same thing should happen here. And then as a person who's providing a service of training and helping, you should want to make sure you're doing things correctly to the best of your ability. No, we can't fix the situation where somebody gets information, as well. My good friend Ashley said this morning, you can't fix the fact that somebody won't stir the pot after they get all the ingredients. You can't fix that. However, what I try to do is give people all the ingredients. And if if there's an ingredient that I don't have, then I try to get you in the direction where you can get the ingredient over here. But I'm at least give you the information and make sure that what I share with you is correct and is as legal as possible, rather than giving you a bunch of my personal perspective and stuff that I just personally do. But then when you go to stirring it and trying to mix it together, it gets you decommissioned. It gets you blacklisted. That's where I'm at. So make sure that the ingredients you give an individual for their business is something that they can actually use. If the ingredients you have, you go and do the research and find out that it's not necessarily applicable to them, then let them know so that they don't be adding. Now, if they add it in anyway, that's on them. But at least give the disclaimers. That's the thing. I mean, heck, even with the parents, sometimes we're like, okay, look, could you at least told me that y'all was gonna be doing this in the school? The intimate education, not the three, I won't say the 3-letter education, but when the kids was in school, intimate education,
Sex education crew.
I don't know how YouTube act up. YouTube be trying to ban people and stuff. See,
okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm a guest on this platform. I'm sorry.
No, you cool. I didn't look. I think it's okay for the ladies. Sometimes when the men say so, we get smacked a little bit harder. But sex education. What do we do? They got let the parent know and let the parent choose because they have a different belief system or whatever the case may be, or they may want to do it themselves. Let the parent know. Give the parents a head up. Just don't implement it without talking to the parent up front. Then the same thing with the school system. Okay, you're going to homeschool your kid. Talk to us and let us know. Just don't snatch your kid out and we don't know where your kid been at for the last 9 weeks. And you're like, well, I'm in homeschooling. In other words, communication, disclaimers, disclosures about what the heck is going on. So people will know, oh, okay, this is what the deal is. That is what's not happening in the notary business. And I think now I do feel that by people giving those disclaimers, let's say people who are teaching Ron, if they give the disclaimer that, hey, April 15th is the deadline and it might not be existing after that, well, I think probably 35 or 40% of the people in Georgia who was trying to take Ron courses might not take them, which means why am I going to spend money on something that I don't know is going to exist after a certain date? But if the notary trainer does not tell people that, oh, after April 15th, or maybe they don't even know, now you got all these people taking these courses on April 16th about Ron, and Ron is gone in Georgia. See, that's the kind of stuff that I'm saying is happening. So did that person do it maliciously or what? I don't know, but I just think there's a responsibility of the non-Georgia notary trainer that if I'm coming over into that in your state, if I'm dealing with just people over here in that state, I need to make sure what I'm telling them is correct and not leading them down the wrong path. That's the responsibility of the trainer. That's what we want our kids football, basketball coach to do. Our kids ACT and SAT prep coach to do. You trying to prep the kid for college, and the kid want to go to Princeton, and you got them prep for SAT to get them into community college. You're gonna be upset. You're like, wait a minute. No, why? Well, I mean, I didn't think you needed to know all of that. Or you didn't think I needed to know that what you teaching my kid ain't going to get them in Princeton. It's going to get them into community college. Not that community college is bad, but I'm just using it as an example. Lack of disclaimer. Look, man and a woman getting married. Dude don't want to have kids. The young lady does. He don't disclose that. There's going to be problems after y'all say I do. It's going to be some serious problems. Yes, I mean, like one lady, she quit the job that my last job. She quit because they told her, she said, I like working from home. Oh yeah, you can work from home. She gets in there and then they tell her, oh no, you can't work from home. She quit. She said, don't be telling me stuff and be lying to me like that. So I'm gonna let you bounce, Samantha. I know you got the role. I appreciate you coming on as always. You Georgia notaries, get with her. She'll help you out so that you're doing things right. And yes, you can make money in Georgia in an attorney state. If you do things the way it's supposed to be, everything will flow for you.
Thank you for inviting me today, Griff. Everybody, y'all be good. Be safe out here in these notary streets. But most importantly, be of good character, be of courage. The notary industry might open a new door for you. I know that it has for me. So, just hold on and just make sure you're keeping your ear to the ground and staying connected to people like Griff and other leaders in the industry. So thank y'all again. Happy Good Friday for those who believe. And if you believe in what's going to happen on the third day, then happy pre-resurrection Sunday to you as well. Y'all have a good day.
All right now. All right. So Miss Brooks, you must I don't charge people for mentorship. I really don't. I don't charge people for mentorship. What I can tell you, what I do is I have a membership where I just help people all together. So let me share my screen, and then we're gonna bring my man Jeff up here and everything. And y'all gonna like Jeff, my man Jeff, looking all cool and everything. And don't take them shades off, Jeff, because you're gonna make me look bad if you do and stuff. But on my channel here, right here where it says join, I have a membership where people get more personalized access to me. And it's either $3.99 or $9.99. There's a $14.99. Don't select that one because I'm shutting that one down, trying to save people some money. But I'm just gonna start playing. Hold on one second. Okay, that's on mute. So I got these here. So this here, L1 and L2 is the exact same thing. It's just that with the gas prices and all of that stuff, I decided to drop this down to $9.99. If you want to, you can join that way. And like I've been helping Miss Ada out and others. Tonight at 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing some document training for those who are members and all of that. Okay, if you joined already, then that's where we're going to be at. That's where we're going to be at. There's a Zoom link for you to log in on and all of that kind of stuff. So that's where we're going to be at and everything. So you'll get your help and everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be good with you. All right. So now it's time to bring my man Jeff on.
Probably do 1 o'clock. No, I could do.
I'll mute him for a second while he's getting his appointment schedule. So and again, like I said, people, I know people think I'm just beating the same drum, but it's so many people who have been hurt, who have been or they felt that they've been misled. I won't say that they are misled. They felt that they have been misled and they're not getting what they thought that they was going to get. And I understand. So you want to do this business, you want to do it right and everything. And I just think we just need to be told the truth. We just need to be told the truth. However, it's now time for you as the notary to actually take responsibility, learn what you need to learn, vet people and their information, ask the hard questions. If they get upset with you for asking them questions and challenging them, and people challenging me all the time, and I challenge them right back. Y'all see it in my comment section. Somebody just challenged me on something that I said about the video I did about the interest rates and stuff. And I asked them, I'm like, are y'all referring to me? Who y'all talking about? So people make statements and stuff, and I don't have a problem being questioned. But it's time for you to say, okay, let me do this thing right. And let me go ahead on and start working this business to the degree that I need to work it so that I can move forward and start making some revenue for myself. It will take some time for people to get out of the W-2 mindset and get more as a business owner. But the more you take responsibility, the more you are active and stop waiting and depending on other people. You ready, Jeff? The more you stop waiting on everybody just to give you an answer, then the opportunity for you to move forward will be there, and you will learn. It's not as scary as you think. It really isn't. To do this business and to have the right, it's not as scary as you think. It is a lot of fun, everything, so I'm just enjoying myself. So what you got, Jeff?
Hey, I got a customer. That's what I got. I sent you a
Okay,
note,
man.
but put me back in the backstage for a minute, and I'll send you a message.
Okay.
Just-
All right. All right. So you said, yeah, I see his message. So yeah, so if anybody else got a question or want to hop on, I'm gonna go for a little bit longer, and I'll be more than happy to have you on stage and ask some questions and everything. If there's a concern, if there's something that you're trying to figure out and learn. Back, I know one person put in a question earlier. I believe Yasharel about all these people complaining and stuff. Don't worry about that. Let them complain. Let them complain. You know, one of the other people, this young lady right here, y'all need to connect with her. She's solid. She's one of the most solid trainers out there. She will get you straight. Okay. She will help you to get straight with what you need to know. So LaShawn is on point 100%. You know, that is one of the people that I refer people to all the time. Let me pull her up real quick and show y'all. So scuba da da. Scuba da da da. All right. So this is LaShawn's, the Notary Institution. Let me put that link in there. Um, she's an excellent resource for some of everything, you know. So I really appreciate her. Um, everything you, I mean, if you want to learn some notary stuff, this is the person to get with. She does Google My Business. She does loan signing supplies, some of everything. So go check her out. She got courses. She's been traveling around helping people with various things, all of that tax write-off stuff. She's even got talking about the Georgia bill for online notaries, doing stuff online, all of that, you know. So LaShawn is straight, you know. She's a great one, not just a good one. She's a great one, you know. So let me go back to this. So for the men and me and Q, me and my man here, Q, on May 7th, we're going to be having a men's get together. Okay. Not trying to exclude women, but you know, the men, we like to get together every now and then and pop it, you know, and everything. And we'll probably have our man Jeff Clark, if he's available to do some speaking and teaching and all of that. And of course Q, because me and him born on May 7th, so we're gonna do that on our birthday. She's gonna be launching officially Captivated Notary, his marketing business. And I just want the fellas to get together and we just gonna chop it up, you know, and have just a powwow. You know, I haven't done one in a bit, and we're going to be doing one. So I'll send some stuff out. I'll put some stuff out there, and we'll, you know, have the men. We'll register and stuff. We do our cameras on, men. We don't be hiding cameras because we just the fellas. So cameras on. We talk, chit chat, and just talk about family, life, business, and see what we can do to encourage each other to move forward in this business and all of that. You know, so let me see what other questions in there, because if there have been questions I missed. So if anybody got a question, you might have to retype it in there. If I missed a question that somebody has that needed to be addressed, please do so. Okay, yeah. And let me get you the guy from Maryland. And not always. Where is his stuff? Oops, nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah, and it is there. Can't remember if it's all one word or two words. It's Heirloom Notary, and he's out there in Maryland. And and I can't remember if hold on 1 second. I know how to find him. All right. Scuba da da da. Yeah, so I can't even find the stuff. I had his stuff saved, but he's in Maryland. And do me a favor and send me a message so I can get that to you, because I don't know why I can't find his stuff. And I had it, and I did have it saved, but now I don't have it anymore and stuff. So I will find it and get it to you. So here's my Google Voice number. Text me there, and I will get you his information and everything. So do that for me. But yeah, he's in Maryland. Stanley, I want to say Stanley Wilson, all that. So all right. So Jeff said he's ready. All right, my man, what we got?
Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I just had somebody come up and get fingerprinted, so took a second.
Look at you, fingerprinting outside in the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, but these are my regular glasses, that transition lenses, so that's why I'm not just porting these things just to look cool. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on. I like getting on here when you're on. So I met with a lady today. I made $1 million right here, baby. So,
my man,
that was a great experience. It was just a advanced health care directive, and I guess she does house cleaning and some other shirts and things. And I said, "Hey, give me your business card." She said, "Hey, well, my business card is $1 million bill." I'm like, "Okay, fine, give me a couple of those." So anyway, it's helping out the community.
So how's things been coming along with the fingerprinting? Any classes coming up?
I have a class coming up on May 7th, and that's a Saturday. So anybody that is on here that wants to get in on the action, May 7th, that's ink fingerprinting. And we'll be talking about live scan as well. So that's 9 to 11 Pacific or noon to 2 Eastern. And if you're in between, it's in between. So yeah, we're that's coming along. I've had quite a few people go through that course, and yeah, go on there. I guess I can. I can give you the link. You can put it
because so May 7th is gonna be a busy day.
Why? What's going on?
Well, Judi Lawrence is doing some apostille stuff on that day. You're doing the fingerprinting, and then I'm doing a little a small men's get together and everything.
When's yours happening so I can be on that one?
Mine's going to probably be like maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon for a couple of hours. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll get off of my meeting and be on yours. Not a problem.
Okay. All right, because I actually wanted you to, so when you come on, I actually wanted you to speak to the fellas and talk to them about, just work-life balance and things of that nature, because I know you have a lot going on and everything. So just help some of the young fellas understand how they can balance things out and do this business, and sit out in the transition lens and have people just come up with fingerprinting cards that they just got off the city bus and come get you to do for them.
Yeah.
And all of that. So yeah,
I'll be happy to do that.
All right, cool. Perfect, man. Perfect. and stuff.
I think I had another class last weekend. I think it was last weekend, and I noticed that everybody gets on there, and it's just you can't fit. You have to pick who you're gonna follow and what you're going to do on what weekend, because there's a lot of things going on in the notary world now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying trying to tell people to dump somebody to join my class, but
Right.
it's just you have to pick and choose. So
Yeah,
let
no,
me.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're most definitely right and stuff and everything. So it sounds like
You can't do everything, right?
true. So it sounds like the fingerprinting is starting to pick up more for people.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people. I got a call from a guy yesterday from New York, and he was asking me a bunch of questions, which I was happy to help him out. And he's following everybody on YouTube, trying to get the information. And he said to me, he said, "Yeah, you're the first guy that actually gave me a lot of information." I'm like, "Well, what about all these other people on YouTube?" Because I told him about the print scan guy. He's like, "Yeah, well, he has a lot of information, but it's not. I guess it's not what people are looking for." So, I'm not saying that I'm the man with all the answers. I'm just, you have to resonate with whoever you resonate with, right? It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I might not be the one for you. It might be somebody else that's, because there's a few other notaries that are doing fingerprinting around the country. So, if I'm not the right guy, then reach out to somebody that is doing it that you resonate with.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you got to find the right connection and everything. Yeah, I just found in. So, all right, 7.44. Here it is. All right, I just found heirloom notary stuff, so I just put it in there. Told you I knew I had it somewhere. Get stuff, but yeah, no, that's good, man. That's good. Well, y'all, Jeff, this guy, he's one of the solid ones. He's one of the solid ones. I sat in on his fingerprinting class a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, okay, this is on point. This is on point. And then, of course, yes, he does host a great clubhouse room. I haven't had a chance to hop on there yet. I am one of these days, Jeff, because it's like almost every time when you have one, I'm right in the middle of going into a signing and everything.
Oh, okay.
But I will hop on.
I don't have a planned schedule. Whenever I have a time, I just open something up and we just chit chat about notary stuff and fingerprinting and whatever. So we just let it go wherever it goes. I don't know if Jim Allen, he gets on there and we chat with each other. And then also Dominique down in Texas. I don't know if you know her.
Yep.
She gets on there and just livens up everything, and we all learn together. So it's this is all about networking, with fellow notaries, and because everybody, I'm doing apostille work, so I need to get to know people around in different states if I need to get help in those states to do that work. And the clubhouse is a great medium to learn to network with other notaries. A lot easier than reaching out with a phone call and say, "Hey, can I get to know you?" Yeah. So you get to know people, just based on what their comments and when they get on stage or whatever, and you kind of get to a sense of who they are and what they're all about. So
Man, excellent. That sounds good. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. So the bottom line, people, it's time to start getting focused on growing your business to where you want it to go. People such as Samantha, myself, Jeff, Q, Matherin, and many others we're here to assist you, to help you with this. We'll help you. We're here to help you. Now, of course, we're not going to babysit you, but we will do everything we can. Putting your link in there. That's Jeff's link for you to sign up for his training. But that's there in the chat. but we're here to help you. We're here to help you and to show you that it can be done. But you're going to have to make up your mind what level of sacrifice are you willing to do in order to get to where you want to go. And that's the thing that I had to do. And my sacrifice, his sacrifice, your sacrifice is all different. But I'm here to help you and support you as you make that sacrifice, as you learn what sacrifice you're willing to make. And as I always talk about, make sure you and your family are on the same page, because you don't want to be making a certain sacrifice to do this business and your family like, what are you doing? Nah, we don't have your back. And sometimes you can have that. So if you know the people in your life can support you and they're down with you, then go for it. If they're not, then you got to come up with a way to be able to do it anyway, irregardless of the support you're getting. And fortunately for me, my wife and kids, they gave me their support, and I went out here and do it. Now, I had my support from my wife and kids, but I didn't have anything from friends, because they're like, man, what are you talking about this notary stuff? You don't know what you're doing. 4 years later,
they're like, sign me up. I want to get involved now.
Yeah, now you want to get involved. So, and then vice versa, it could be for somewhere your friends and, outside of your family can really believe in you and support you. And then your internal family members, they may not. And you have to be strong to be able to go out here and do it anyway. It's hard. And then if you're a married couple and you're struggling with your spouse helping you, and moving, and not supporting you like you would like. Well, if they've always been educated in getting the job, get a job, and they've never been told or saw anybody operate as an entrepreneur, how can you expect them to just hop on the bandwagon of entrepreneurship when it's brand new to them? They don't have any clue. They never experienced this. They don't know what this is about. They don't know the shirt. They may look at it as something unsure. So you're looking for them to help you and support you. And they're like, I don't even know what this is all about. I don't even know what an entrepreneur thing is. So you have to keep all of that in mind, that not everybody understands how to support you. That's what you need to understand. Everybody doesn't understand how to support you. And if you can understand that, then you'll know how to forge your way forward. So what's your thoughts on that, Jeff?
Well, what was going through my head is the support is one thing, but you also have to take time out for your family. And that's
Correct.
important. And that's one thing that I have to, my wife, she likes to walk, go on walks and whatever. And she'll be like, hey, can we go on a walk? I'm like, yeah, okay. If I have some time, I'll go for a half hour on a walk, whatever. Because just that little bit of time goes a long way, So if you show that you're gonna, take some time out of your day and be with your family, they'll be able to support you more when you have to take an appointment or something. When you take time when they need you to take that time. So that's what I've struggled with that. And I've actually scaled back my hours on Saturdays so I could be there with my family instead of working all day, and little time here and there, but you have to do it. You have to take that, schedule time for you and your family to be together. And if you're single, schedule time for yourself, so.
Yeah. All right. Sound good. Well, I'm about to shut this down, my man, and everything. Thanks for hopping on.
Okay, I gotta go myself.
All right, buddy.
Thanks. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the 7th. Send me whatever I need to do to sign up.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
So, all right, my man, he had to bounce. Okay, somebody, Carter Chronicles, for as a background check, we get it through the NNA. Is there some other private entity that does it? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, for his background checks, what's a good to get a background check, I just go through the NNA when we sign up as a signing agent and all of that. So also want to say lastly, with regards to training, the NNA is a solid place to go. They are a very, very solid place to go for training. I just finished taking the signing agent training, renewing my certification with them. And when I sit there and listen to that training, I'm sitting here amazed that I'm like, okay, how contradictory other people's information is to what the NNA is teaching us. And I'm sitting here like, okay, who are we supposed to believe? Do we believe the NNA or do we believe, as we used to say in the Navy, Joe Smuckatelli? We used to use that name as a catch-all. Do we supposed to believe Joe Smuckatelli training, over the NNA? You know what I'm saying? I mean, but what the NNA teaches, and when I'm sitting there listening to it, I'm like, man, this is some solid training. That's signing agent training, and I'm about to redo the Notary Assist training with them. So give the NNA a shot. Give them a shot. And if somebody talks smack about them and puts them down, ask them to clarify it. Why are you saying there's something wrong with the NNA? What is wrong with taking training with them? Why do I just need to get the $70 package, just a background check, and take the exam when they have all this other training? How is it that training won't help me out to be a signing agent? What's wrong with it? Because that's what I hear. I'm like, then tell me, if somebody going to tell you something's wrong with something, then they need to explain why. So if they say, well, you don't need to be hanging around Griff, you don't need to listen to Griff. Okay, cool. Why? Why? Tell me why. I mean, one time somebody saw a book that I was reading. They was like, you don't need to listen to that person. And then they just kept walking. I'm like, okay, why? And what it is, they just didn't like them or they didn't agree with them or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. So you want me to do what you want? You want me to not deal with them because you don't like dealing with them? If that's the foundation of it, okay, got it. But hold on one second. Yeah, so that's where we're at, party people. All right, let me go because I'll be going on here all day, all night, and all of that. But I appreciate y'all. Again, thanks for Samantha coming on. Greatly appreciate her time and everything. So I'm gonna go get these initials done on this paper that I missed. I can't believe I missed it. I can't believe I missed it. I didn't even notice they was on there, but it happens. Got hired, field inspection, received the order today. Well, look, give me a holler. I'm about to hop in the car. Here's my number. Call me and talk, and let's talk about it. Okay, Tamika, give me a call real quick and let's talk about it so we can get you situated. All right. Well, y'all have a great one. Appreciate y'all. See y'all shortly. I'll probably be doing some videos over the weekend and all that good stuff. Y'all have a good one. Peace.